Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome in if this is your first time being here with me. My name is Melissa. This is Empowered Gems Tarot, and today we're going to be looking into what does your person want to say, and we're going to be getting messages from their higher self to you to help you understand like what they're going through or whatever it is that they would like for you to know. I am really excited because in today's reading, I'm going to be previewing another new deck called the Empowered Message Cards, Shadow and Light. So I'm really excited to show this to you guys. We're going to be using this for the readings today. I'll also have a flip through. If you want to take a peek at the full deck at the very end of the video, it will be timestamped in the description box down below. Remember that this is a general collective reading on YouTube, so the messages will vary in how specifically they're going to resonate with each individual viewer out there. So as a best practice, if anything in the reading feels confusing to you or feels like it doesn't really fit your situation that you know it to be, take that as a sign that those are just not your messages today and that they're meant for somebody else out there in the collective that's watching the same reading that you chose. If you guys did want to book a personal reading with me, the details to book are in the description box down below. Personal readings can be a great way to get a more specific and accurate read on your own personal energy and situation. And with that being said, let's go ahead now and select your reading. So we have a choice between 3 today. If you're drawn to reading 1, we're going to be working with the Everyday Witch Tarot, and we have this selenite crystal. If you're drawn to reading number 2, we'll be working with the Tarot of the Haunted House and the Pink Himalayan Salt crystal. And if you're drawn to reading 3, we'll be working with the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot and this Rose Quartz Heart. So let's go ahead and take a deep breath. Go ahead and select the deck or crystal that you feel the most intuitively connected to. And once you've made your choice, you can scroll down to the description box below to locate the timestamp that will skip you ahead to your chosen reading. See you there. Hello, Group 1, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Everyday Witch Tarot and this selenite crystal, this will be your message. And today we're going to be getting messages from your person. What do they want to say? So let's go ahead and get started by looking at their current energy with regard to where they stand in this connection. So we've got the Coyote Spirit, Trust in Divine Detours, and then we've got the past is now behind you. Release it and embrace new possibilities. A new path is now available to you. Follow it with faith. Okay, Group 1. So what is going on with your person? So it definitely feels like your person is in a place right now where they are embarking on some sort of new beginning here. This card really talks about releasing the past, letting go of the past so that we can embrace new possibilities and a new path that is ahead. So this person could be feeling like you're a new path for them to explore, or this could just be talking about something more generally speaking in their life where they're on a new path. I do kind of feel with the Coyote Spirit that maybe there is something associated with this new beginning that either this person wasn't really expecting or it wasn't part of their plan, because this says trust in divine detours. So it makes me feel like something about this beginning for them is like off the beaten path, or just not something that they had planned. Now, one thing that I do want to note for some of you guys that I'm kind of getting from this is that the Coyote Spirit is a little bit of a trickster energy at times too. Now, this may not be the case for everybody. We're going to see as we get more into the cards. But there could be something about this detour that your person is on that is a little bit of a trickster energy, or they could be up to mischief here. Okay, so let's just get right into it. I want to see what they want to say to you. So, Spirit, we're looking into messages from group number 1's person. We're going to look into what they want to tell you about themselves, what they want to say about this connection, and what they want to say about you. Okay, group one. So we're going to try to get a well-rounded snapshot of what's happening. So Spirit, what does this person want to say to group one about themselves right now? I am fixated on you and will not stop until you're mine. Okay. What do they want to say about this connection? Okay. We have you are beautiful inside and out. We also have I'm heartbroken. So those are coming up together. And what do they want to say about you, group one? My ego and pride are keeping me stuck. We also have I'm idealizing you and putting you up on a pedestal at the bottom of the deck. So this is pretty heavy, pretty loaded, group one. Your person is definitely going through something. So we're going to get some clarifiers with the tarot so we can kind of get into the nuance of what's happening. And then we will dive in. So Spirit, what does this person want to say to my group one viewers? What do they want to say to group one? Help us get some clarification here on their perspective. What do they want to say about themselves? We have the King of Wands in reverse. What do they want to say about this connection? Please, Spirit. Okay, and we have two coming out again. This is so interesting. For like the connection, I feel like your person actually has a lot to say because I'm only intending to get two cards, or one card, I'm sorry, for each of these different positions, and I keep getting two for that. So what do they want to say about my group one viewers, please, Spirit? The Seven of Wands. Okay. All right. So the first thing that I'm kind of getting, you guys, with this undertone here at the bottom of the deck, I do feel like your person does not feel good enough for you right now. And they don't feel successful when it comes to this relationship right now. They put you guys up on a pedestal, right? They idealize you. And so something to just kind of keep in mind is that they may not be seeing you for you. They might actually be seeing you for like what they're projecting onto you versus seeing you with crystal clarity of who you actually are as a person, okay? With the Six of Wands in reverse, I feel like this person does feel really successful when they're around you because there is something about you that they find really inspirational. But with that Six of Wands in reversed, like the undertone here is that they're lacking in confidence or they're feeling not good enough. Maybe they're even feeling unacknowledged by you, but I think really what it is that they don't feel like they're on your level, right? With them idealizing you and putting you on a pedestal, they really kind of see you as being above where they are with that Six of Wands in reverse. Whether you're like more successful or whatever it is, they don't feel like they're on your level. This person has like such loaded feelings about you, group one, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know that they're like really fully expressive to you because even when I'm like tapping back into the energy of this coyote spirit, I think of a coyote as like an animal that's out at night or that's kind of tricky or just like doing things strategically, you know? And I just feel like that's the energy of your person. Especially when I'm looking at this King of Wands in reverse. So this says, I'm fixated on you and will not stop until you're mine. So I feel like your person is obsessing about you behind the scenes. And with the King of Wands in reverse, I think this kind of doubles into this lack of confidence that they feel to be able to be on your level or to pursue you. But it's also telling me that this person is very much operating from a place of ego, right? So your person, I think, well, it's coming through here too. I think that they do kind of have a tendency, group one, even if you haven't seen this side of them, I think that they do have a tendency to be a little pushy, maybe a little aggressive. I think that they want to claim you because of like the status or the feeling that you provide to them, the validation that you provide. It just feels like your person, it's like, it's interesting because like there's this new beginning energy that they're in, but I do kind of get the sense that this person just has a lot of healing work that they need to do because they are kind of fixating on you from a place of ego and pride versus like really seeing your divinity and your the truth of who you are as a person, which I even see over here, which we'll get to in a second. So what do they want to tell you about this connection? So we have you're beautiful inside and out, and I am heartbroken. So I feel like this person really admires you. They see your purity, and I think that there's a part of them that sees the purity in this connection as well. It's very soft, but they're also acknowledging that they're heartbroken. Like maybe they're not in a good place right now. Again, they've just gone detoured onto a new path. So it's possible that this person just got broken up with, or maybe they are dealing with some other type of heartache in their personal life. Again, I feel like for a lot of you, it's in the shadows. Like maybe you guys don't fully know what it is that they're going through right now. But they view your connection as like beautiful. They view you as beautiful and pure inside and out. But they're acknowledging that it's complicated for them right now because they're heartbroken. We have the King of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So maybe for some of you guys, this is like a work connection with the King of Pentacles. I could see that being there with both of these actually, because King of Pentacles is work, but Knight of Swords is kind of like drive, ambition, right? Going after our goals. But if that's not the case for you, what I feel is that this person, it's like they see this connection as a connection that they would have to like really commit to in a traditional way. King of Pentacles is provider, protector, caretaker, commitments, showing up, being responsible. It's very different from this King of Wands in reverse. It's even very different from just the King of Wands in the upright, right? Like the King of Wands is not always the most committed energy. It doesn't mean that they can't settle down and be in a committed relationship, but they definitely like to explore. They like to be free. This person doesn't necessarily give me that vibe, like that they want to be single necessarily or keep options open, because they are kind of obsessing over you. But it's definitely giving me the impression that like when they think about your connection, they feel like it's something that they would have to be very responsible with, right? And it's because they see you as this beautiful, pure energy and person inside and out, even again, if it's projection. Yeah, it's like they're saying here, they see this as a connection where they'd have to commit, be reliable, dependable, and that they would have to take action. They would have to communicate clearly. They would have to pursue you with this Knight of Swords. But I feel for a lot of you guys with this Knight of Swords, with heartbroken, that they're a bit shut off at their heart space. We have no cups here, right? The most warm energy that I'm getting in my heart space is from this. It's like when they think of you, they just get really warm in their heart center. But I don't think that they're fully connected to their own emotions right now, because again, it's like they've gone through something here, or they are currently going through something here. So then what do they want to say about you? It says, my ego and pride are keeping me stuck with the Seven of Wands. Okay. So there is something about you where it's like they're having a hard time. I feel like they're almost like keeping you at arm's length with the Seven of Wands. Like, so there's a couple things I'm getting. I feel like this pride and ego stuff, again, it connects back to their lack of confidence or their lack of feeling like they're on the same level as you, right? And so for some of you guys, I feel like this person pushes you away with the Seven of Wands. Like they're almost keeping you at arm's length. Sorry, one moment, you guys, my music just cut off, so I'm just going to turn it off altogether. It's like they're keeping you at arm's length with this Seven of Wands, only letting you get so close. And that's pride and ego stuff. Like they're afraid of being vulnerable. For others of you, though, they might actually feel like you've pushed them away. Maybe they're coming across too forcefully. I do see that potential in their energy. Like if you're a person as somebody who comes across like really intensely or really forcefully, I do think that they're saying like they're having a hard time with you pushing them away or setting boundaries because they have a hard time receiving that. Like Seven of Wands, it's just giving me this energy that your person is not super like always open and receptive to feedback. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at their emotions next, and then we'll look at the status deck. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about this person and their feelings toward group one? We have fulfilled. Yeah, there's something, it's almost like they see you as a wish fulfilled, right? And I feel like that's why they're so intently focused on you, group one. I do want to say, though, I think that this person, like, I think that they struggle right now with fulfilling themselves, right? And they might be looking to external sources like yourself to fulfill them. We have paranoid, and then we also have trust coming through as well with insecure. Exactly. So even you guys, if your person comes across like really boastful and proud or like really forceful or whatever, like just know that that behavior is coming from insecurity because they are heartbroken and they're going through something tough. I really think that your person is struggling with like just sinking into their emotions and like feeling whatever the heartbreak is that they're feeling. And I feel like with this coyote spirit, they're almost trying to bypass it. Like they don't want to feel their emotions around that. And that affects the way that they can show up with you. Okay. So we also have paranoid. So there's something about this connection where it's interesting, right? Because they're saying that they trust you, but I feel like there's something about this connection that they're saying makes them feel paranoid. So again, for some of you, I feel like this could be a work situation with the King of Pentacles. They could be feeling like they have to be cautious about how they navigate with you because of their image. They could be cautious about like whatever status that they have in life in general, their achievements. They could be paranoid about stuff like that as well. Maybe that's like, I'm getting for some of you that this person maybe has been hurt before by people who connected with them due to their status, due to their money, right? So I feel like there is a paranoia about that as well for some. But I think with this trust energy, it's like they want to... There's a desire here to trust, but they definitely have their walls up with the Seven of Wands. I definitely feel like somebody in this connection is keeping the other at arm's length. I feel like they just have trust issues, right? Based off everything that they're going through. So let's just close it out, group one, by looking at some messages from your person. And let's just see what they want to say to you. If they were being honest about how they view the status of this connection. What else can you tell us, Spirit? Ooh, we have confessions. It's about to get real. So with that Knight of Swords, they may want to talk to you guys about something. Maybe they're going to tell you what they're going through. What else? We have smoking mirrors. This one will tell you whatever you want to hear. So just be mindful of that, you guys. I think there's a lot of ego with your person. And not all is what it seems with them, with smoking mirrors. We have sexual connection. I want to get you out of those clothes. So yeah, just, I would just be mindful, you guys. I think your person, they definitely put you up on a pedestal, but there's not a lot of like emotion that I get from them. It's a lot of like physical, sexual energy and a lot of like validation seeking behavior that I see. Lots of ego issues with your person. Very walled off. Yeah. So this is what I see for you, group one, about what your person wants to say. If you guys like the deck, you can flip to the description box where there'll be a timestamp for you to look at the full flip through. But thank you guys so much for watching. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what's been going on with your person. And I look forward to seeing you in another reading soon. Bye. Hey, group two, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the pink Himalayan salt crystal and the haunted house tarot deck, this is going to be your reading. So today we're going to be looking at messages from your person. What do they want to say? We're going to be using my empowered message card deck, which is new. If you guys want to see a full flip through of the deck, that'll be time stamped in the description box down below, but we are going to be using that for today's reading. So let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to take a look at where they stand energetically, and then we'll get some messages from them. So we've got the grasshopper spirit. Take a leap of faith. Okay. We have give thanks for the blessings of love soon to come your way. Know that you deserve to be and have all that your heart truly desires. That's beautiful energy, group 2. So where they stand energetically with regard to this connection, it does feel very open. It does feel very positive. With the grasshopper spirit, this talks about taking a leap of faith, taking a risk. Maybe for some of you guys, you're sensing a little bit of hesitation with your person. Sometimes before we take a leap of faith, we have to assess the risk, right? And I don't know why, but like I'm getting, when I think of a grasshopper, I just think of like a small little insect, which they are. I don't know why I'm getting this, but I feel like your person does have a little bit of a fear, like a fear of getting blown off course or something like that. I don't know. There's like a slight bit of hesitation that I get from their energy, but their heart is open, right? This person is feeling really grateful, I think, or they're working on at least acknowledging the positives in their life, the positive blessings that they have in their life. And they could also be working a little bit on their self-worth too, right? This is talking about knowing that you deserve to be and have all that your heart desires, right? So they could be working on kind of gratitude at this time, or just kind of working on being more mindful of recognizing their blessings and being in more of a positive mindset around their love life. So let's take a look and see what they want to say to you. So we're going to take a look at what they want to tell you about themselves, what they want to say about this connection, and what they want to say about you. Okay, so group 2. What does this person want to say about themselves as it pertains to this connection with group 2? It says, I'm practicing self-restraint. That's so interesting, right? Because I was getting that they're like afraid or holding themselves back a little bit. What do they want to say about this relationship or this connection with my group 2 viewers? I am fixated on you and will not stop until you're mine. Okay, that came up in group 1 as well. We've got a little theme going here. What else, please, Spirit? What do they want to say about my group 2 viewers? I feel emotional harmony and resonance with you. That is cute. At the bottom of the deck, you're beautiful inside and out. I love that, group 2. So they definitely have very positive feelings about you. They're saying here that they feel like you're beautiful inside and out. They feel like this emotional harmony and resonance with you. I definitely think they're a bit obsessive with that I'm fixated on you energy. They're very like open-hearted and excited about you, and they're trying to like, maybe they're trying not to come off too strong here. So let's see. What else, Spirit? What can you tell us about what group 2's person wants to say? So clarifying, what do they want to say about themselves to my group 2 viewers, please, Spirit? Seven of Wands in reverse. What do they want to say about this connection, please, Spirit? Ooh, King of Pentacles. This is kind of hot. And what do they want to say about my group 2 viewers, please, Spirit? We have the 5 of Cups, but it's reversed, okay? And then we do have an Emperor reverse at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Interesting energy. All right. So what do they want to tell you, group 2? Well, I definitely feel like this person is saying they're practicing self-restraint, but with that 7 of Wands in reverse, I actually feel like they're very much in a weakened state when it comes to you. I almost feel like they are ready to fold when it comes to you. And I see that with the Emperor in reverse as well, right? Because the Emperor typically can talk about being pretty cold and having strict, strong boundaries. It can be kind of a controlling energy, but it can be good. Like sometimes we need to have boundaries and structure, but it's reverse. So it's making me feel like there's some sort of boundary that's softening here as it pertains to this person and where they stand with you at this time. Again, they want to take some sort of leap of faith towards you. And so maybe in the past they've been a bit defensive, or they've been kind of like keeping you at arm's length, or maybe some of you guys blocked them or they blocked you. There seems to be this energy of like they're kind of caving. Now, the other thing too that I'm getting from this, for some of you guys, if your person has been somebody who's been pretty fiery, pretty defensive in the past, they might be trying to kind of suppress some of that and be a bit softer with you, right? Because the Seven of Wands does talk about like softening our stance, not being so defensive. Sometimes it can be like when someone's being weak or they're caving, folding, right? Like I was getting before. But it could just be very much that this person is trying to take a softer sort of view of you or a softer approach with you. And I do see that with the Emperor in reverse as well. Now, just keep in mind, we're going to see as we play into the spread a little bit more, but the Emperor in reverse does sometimes talk about somebody who's not fully ready for commitment and responsibility. So just bear that in mind. This person might still be kind of working on their divine masculine energy. I don't think it's really that bad though, because we do have the King of Pentacles here. So we'll get to that in just a minute. But just there's something going on with their boundaries, their foundation, their approach toward you, where I feel like it's more about them sort of lowering their defenses. Okay. Now, what do they want to say about this connection? So they're fixated on you and they will not stop until you're theirs. Okay. So, I don't think this person is like in player mode. I don't think they're dating anyone else. I think they really have their eye on you. Okay. With this King of Pentacles, this is a good sign because this does talk about commitment energy. So I do feel like your person is saying like they know that if they're with you, they have to be stable. They have to take care of you. They have to be responsible. You know, the King of Pentacles is like a provider, a protector, a caretaker. This King of Pentacles, though, I don't know. What are we getting from him? This person could be really fixated on like their career, their money. I'm just noticing like how he's surrounded by riches here, and he's in a cave. I do get a little bit of a possessive energy from that King of Pentacles. Like he wants you, like, yeah, they want you all to themselves kind of vibes. They want to just pull you away from everyone else and take you to their cave, whatever that means. But yeah, this is definitely a responsible energy. It's commitment energy for sure. They know that if they were with you, that this connection means they have to commit. They have to be responsible with you. Now, what do they want to say about you? We've got, I feel emotional harmony and resonance with you, clarified by the Five of Cups in reverse. So they're feeling better about something here. Maybe there has been a situation here where things have not been going well. Maybe there's been grief, there's been loss, maybe there's been disappointments here. Maybe they feel like they've disappointed you, right? Maybe there is something about their boundaries or their follow through in the past that has disappointed you. I'm seeing in this card how she looks really worried, right? She looks really worried. And so it's in reverse. So maybe there's like this sense that you guys have talked things through, or things are feeling better now. Things are feeling more positive with you than they were in the past. Maybe they feel like you're not as worried about certain things anymore. Things are starting to get better. Okay. So let's take a look next at their emotions, group 2. So what does this person want to tell you? Or I'm sorry, what are their feelings right now, please, Spirit, toward my group 2 viewers? We have cold. It's like there's something about their temper or their fire that I feel like they're trying to cool down here. We have heartbroken. Interesting. And then we have stagnant here. And then we have shame. So I think this person's feeling ashamed of something that they did. Again, it feels like maybe they disappointed you in the past. And I think there's frustration that they're feeling. They're trying to like cool it down, any anger issues that they have. But they're feeling really sad about whatever happened here. They're heartbroken as it pertains to this connection. And I do feel like this person, with the grasshopper spirit, it almost feels to me like they want to come back around and fix it with the King of Pentacles. Like they want to be responsible. But I feel like they're kind of perceiving that their progress with you is blocked, right? And maybe it has to do with whatever they did in the past that disappointed or hurt you. They're kind of feeling like progress is moving really slow, if not moving at all. Okay. So group 2, how are they viewing the status? What else do they want to tell you? What else does group 2's person want to say, Spirit? We have emotionally immature. This one makes impulsive decisions. It might be exciting, but it will be short-lived. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense with that Emperor in reverse. Like there's still something about them where I think they're a little immature around like their boundaries and their divine masculine energy. We have temporary. The best way to get over the ex or the past is to entertain something new. Okay. What else? We have denial. This isn't what you're looking for, but you're ignoring the facts. Wow. Okay. We do have let's try this. So there's a part of them that does feel like they want to try to put in the effort with you to make things work. But when we look at the status that they view this connection as, group 2, this is, there's a lot going on here. They're definitely heartbroken. They're definitely hurting, whether this has to do with you guys breaking up with them or something from the past. They're very much fixated on you. And I feel like a part of that fixation is to help them feel better, right? Like they want that connection with you, that emotional harmony and resonance with you, because it helps them to feel better about whatever they've done that they're ashamed of here. So I think there is an element of like the King of Pentacles and this let's try this where they want to commit, they want to make things better. But I feel like there's just something here with this Emperor in reverse, you guys, where they like didn't show up in the most honorable way towards you, right? Like an Emperor, when they're in a relationship, is going to be like very protective over that relationship. They're going to have good boundaries, right? And so I feel like this person, for some of you, like maybe they didn't have the best boundaries. I feel like it wasn't all bad because the King of Pentacles is still an energy of commitment and responsibility. But I feel like this person might have had wobbly boundaries. Like for instance, maybe for some of you, this person was like flirting on social media or like DMing people for attention, like little like micro cheating type of behaviors that are sort of immature that people do to get validation, even though they might not be fully cheating. It's like, that's the type of vibe that I'm getting from this person, right? Where they're ashamed of it. They feel really guilty about what they did. But at the same time, I feel like they're still not fully ready to kind of take responsibility to fix that, in terms of like the inner work that they need to do to not do it again. Does that make sense? So this is really interesting, group 2. I think this person definitely wants to come back toward you. I feel like they want to fix things, but I feel like a lot of what they want to fix is more about like soothing their own ego and helping themselves to feel better, either about like heartbreak that they're going through or something that they did that they're feeling guilty about. So this is what I see, group 2. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what's been happening with your person, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next reading soon. Bye. Hello, group 3, and welcome to your reading. If you guys were drawn to the Edgar Allan Poe Tarot and this rose quartz heart, this will be your message. So today we're going to be looking into what does your person want to say to you? And I'm really excited because we're going to be using my new deck, Empowered Message Cards, Shadow and Light. If you guys do want to see the full preview of this deck, you can check the description box to go to the timestamp to see all the cards. But let's go ahead and jump in and just see first where your person stands energetically, and then we'll dive into the messages from them. All right, so we've got the koala spirit. Spirit has a plan. Ooh, we have trust. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. Okay, and then we have new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. Okay, group 3. So what is happening? Where does your person stand? So I do think that this person is likely very much in a leaned back energy as it pertains to this connection, because the koala spirit really does kind of talk about just like trusting spirit, trusting that the universe is going to guide or direct you in whatever place you need to be. Okay, so I see that kind of confirmed with trust, right? Like there's definitely something that this person is going through right now, like a change, a transformation. They're definitely on the precipice of or beginning something new in their life, right? And so they could be viewing you as being a part of that new beginning, a part of that change. But at the same time, there is a part of them that is still, I think, working through accepting whatever the current circumstances are that they are ending. And so because of that, they're still kind of working through this transformation. I think when it comes to you and this connection, they probably haven't taken a lot of action, right? Or they've been pulling back, or at least in a more go with the flow energy. It may not be that they've totally pulled back from you, but like this is just about a person who is trusting spirit right now instead of taking decisive action on something. Okay. So group 3, we're going to take a look at what they want to say about themselves, what they want to say about this connection, and then what do they want to say about you. All right, Spirit, so let's take a look. What does this person want to say about themselves and their own energy to my group 3 viewers? Okay. We have I'm comparing and I am so passionate for you. So those both came up. What do they want to say about this connection to my group 3 viewers? This came up in every spread. This is crazy. This says, I'm fixated on you and will not stop until you're mine. What do they want to say about my group 3 viewers? Please, Spirit. I'm learning something important. Okay, well, there's that. You are an emotional safe space for me. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's take a little peek. All right, I'm going to pull some tarot cards and then we'll kind of dive into this message. So, Spirit, what does this person want to say to my group 3 viewers? What do they want to say to my group 3 viewers? Tell us a little bit more, please, Spirit. What do they want to say about themselves? We have the King of Swords. Okay, what do they want to say about this connection? We have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. What do they want to say about my group 3 viewers, please, Spirit? The Star in reverse. And then we do have the 2 of Wands in its reverse here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, so not a lot of effort, not a lot of expansion coming through. Got to be honest there, group 3. So what do they want to tell you? The first thing that I feel is that this person is still like, I just keep getting that they're still transitioning out of something, okay? Because they're comparing. they're saying that they have passion for you, right? And that you ignite something in them. You kind of bring this spark into their life. But they're in this King of Swords energy where they are intellectualizing it, right? I feel like your person pushes down their emotions. They push down their passion. They push down their attraction. And I feel like they are comparing you to whatever they're still transitioning out of. I also think for some of you guys, this person could be comparing themselves to you a little bit too. Take that as it resonates with your situation here. But there's something that they're intellectualizing. It's something they're thinking about. It's something that they are drawing comparisons between as it pertains to what they're transitioning out of. I also think, again, this person is still just kind of at a crossroads, right? I'm taking a look at this King of Swords. He's standing on the street corner. He's not making a decisive move yet. He almost looks a little paranoid too. Like, why are you looking at me like that? This person may not be fully trusting right now also. Like, they could struggle with trust. They could struggle with opening up their heart. And it's interesting because it's like they're saying that you're an emotional safe space for them, but it's kind of buried because the Two of Wands in reverse talks about a fear, right? It's like a fear of expanding that, a fear of exploring that deeper. There could also be something about like other people too, right? Like maybe the way that you and this person connect is typically through a group of people or community. And so maybe there's kind of a fear of like being seen in a certain way, or they don't want to open up because you're in a group of people or something like that. But we also have the Ten of Cups here, right? So there's that emotion. It's just buried. I think there's like a part of them that does daydream about you or kind of think about like, ooh, what if I was with group 3? And they do kind of have these fantasies or idealizations about you. And we're going to get to idealizing in a minute because I see that here as well. Now, this person is saying about this connection, they're fixated, right? This says, I'm fixated on you and I will not stop until you're mine. But it's clarified by the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So I definitely think that this person is like thinking a lot about this connection. They are maybe a little obsessive over this connection. But with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, it's kind of showing me that they want it to feel easy right now. This is not the energy of somebody who's saying, I want to show up and put effort into this. It's almost the opposite, right? Where it's like, we don't want to put effort into it, or we don't have the bandwidth, or we're not paying attention to detail very well. Or again, they want it to be easy versus hard work. So just something to keep in mind. And again, I think it makes sense because your person is in kind of surrender mode right now. Like, I just don't see them taking a lot of intentional action toward anything as they're trying to process and navigate through whatever this transition is that they're going through. Okay, but they are thinking about you. You are on their mind. They are maybe low-key a little bit obsessed. Maybe for some of you guys, you bond with this person over writing or communication or like books, things like that, intellectual topics. That could be something significant here. But they're saying about you, I'm learning something important, okay? So you're teaching this person something. And I feel that there is a message here about idealization and projection and mirroring as well. Because it's the Star is in reverse, which makes me think that this person does have a tendency to put you guys up on a pedestal or maybe to not fully see you clearly. But I also think because the Star is in reverse, there's something about this connection, something about you, where maybe you've recently kind of shown them a more human side of yourself, where the idealized version of you has come crashing down. And I don't know that it's necessarily bad, but I think that what this person is learning is about mirroring, right? Like there's whatever it is that they admire about you, I feel is reflecting something about them, right? Or whatever it is that maybe you, like if you make this person feel uncomfortable, that's also a reflection of them, right? There's something about you that acts as a reflection or a mirror to this person. And I think because the Star is in reverse, this person could be in a place where they're feeling maybe not as optimistic, or they could be feeling a little closed off. Again, like I keep getting that they're pushing things down at this time. And so yeah, the King of Swords, the Two of Wands reversed, the Eight of Pentacles. It definitely feels like they're intellectualizing or pushing things down because it might feel uncomfortable to have that mirror held up to them. Okay, so let's keep going, group 3. Let's see what their emotions are toward you right now. Spirit, what is this person's true emotion toward my group 3 of viewers? Yeah, withdrawn and closed off. Exactly. They're heartbroken, you guys. Ugh, and they're pushing it down. We have anxious. So there's something about this connection that makes them nervous. Pulls up anxiety, worry. What else, please, Spirit? We have defensive. Interesting. Yeah, I think there's something about you that, like, just the way that you are, I feel like it just really triggers them. Group 3. I don't know that you've done anything wrong necessarily, but I just think something about you mirrors something back to this person that makes them feel really uncomfortable. And so instead of them kind of leaning into that, I feel like they pull back, they push down their emotion, and they try to intellectualize it instead of really understanding it emotionally. Yeah, we have victimized here. So it's like they feel almost helpless for some reason when it comes to you, and whatever it is that you're mirroring to them. So let's see, group 3. What do they want to say? What else do they want to say to my group 3 viewers? We're going to take a look at the status deck. I want to see, like, what info this can add to their message. Yeah, I think they are comparing you to themselves, group 3. And I think I do think they're still comparing you to something that they're transitioning out of. So what do they view the status of this connection as, please, Spirit? Intense. Yeah, expect lots of passion with this connection, and remember, too much of it, anything can be bad. They feel very intense feelings, and I think it's uncomfortable for them, which is why they pull back and push it down. Okay. We have healing. Someone is healing or needs to focus on healing. Yeah. So maybe this person has, like, some mental health stuff going on with anxiety. Maybe that's part of, like, why they're not showing up as being ready to really put effort into this connection. You know, there's healing work that needs to be done here on an individual level. But I also think maybe there's a part of them that wants to heal the connection too. I don't know, like, how they're going to show up that way in practice based off the energy I see here now. But they do want to feel better about things between you, I feel like. We have one-sided. This connection is not balanced. Something needs to be addressed. That's interesting. So I wonder for some of you guys if, like, what triggers them is something to do with effort. Like, maybe one of you guys is putting in more effort than the other. Well, clearly that's what they're saying, and it's coming up over what they want to say about you, right? So either you're putting in more effort than them, they're putting in more effort than you. Something like that is going on, but it's like they don't feel good about it. They feel defensive about it. They feel triggered by that. For some of you, I feel like you guys put in more effort than them, and that makes them feel not good, right? Like, it makes them feel like it almost mirrors to them where they need to rise up. But instead of, like, leaning into that lesson, they kind of get defensive or triggered and they kind of pull back. Like, it kind of triggers their worthiness a little bit. So this is really interesting, group 3. I definitely feel like you're teaching your person a lesson based off of what they're saying from their higher selves here. It feels pretty intense, but it just kind of seems like they're going through something in their personal life and there's some sort of a new beginning. And I feel like that's a big part of, like, why maybe they're not showing up as their best self toward you in these messages, right? Like, this person, I think, is still very much trying to figure out, like, how to navigate whatever it is that they're going through, because it's pretty new for them. And they may be in denial about the new beginning as well for some of you. So if they're in denial and they're not accepting their new experience in their life, I think it's going to be really hard for them to be open and receptive to you, right? Because you would be a part of that new experience. So yeah, this is what I see, group 3. Comment below. Let me know a little bit about what's been going on with your person. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in a new reading soon. Bye. Hey everyone, and welcome to the deck preview for my new deck, Empowered Message Cards, Shadow and Light. So I'm going to give you guys a little walkthrough of how this deck is designed, and then I'm going to put myself on mute and flip through all the cards so that you guys can see what they look like. So this this deck is 90 cards total, so it's pretty big. We do have the kind of black metallic sides, which I'm really excited about. And as you guys saw in the reading today, these are love message cards. So these are kind of intended to help you channel messages from a love interest on your mind, or just anyone on your mind that you wanted to do a reading on. You can use them alone, or you can combine them with your tarot cards like we did in today's reading. Now, the way that I designed this was really intentional. So there are 3 different colors of cards that you're going to find in this deck. We have the light cards. Okay, so these are going to be this really beautiful kind of pale yellow, and these are meant to be messages of the light that tend to be more positive, uplifting, more open. We also have the shadow cards. So these are this kind of indigo deep color, and these are meant to be shadow messages, right? So messages that are a little more dark, a little more deep, subconscious, maybe negative, depending on your perception. And then we also have this sort of neutral brown color, and these are kind of meant to be subjective, right? Up for interpretation. So for instance, being indecisive isn't necessarily inherently good or bad. It kind of depends on the context, right? Being indecisive could be something keeping someone stuck, which could be negative, but it could also be somebody waiting until they have the right answer so that they can move forward with clarity, right? So it just depends. So when you look through the deck, you're going to notice the 3 different colors, and I wanted to explain what those mean. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put myself on mute, and I'm going to flip through the cards so that you can see all of them.